The X-Men are not currently part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but if they were, the only X-Man to survive the snap would have spelled big trouble for Thanos. Speaking with IGN's Up at Noon show, Avengers Endgame directors Joe and Anthony Russo revealed the one member of the team they would have left standing, and they have some pretty solid reasoning behind their choice. The Russos' conversation with IGN involved a thought experiment in which the pair were asked about several groups of people, some fictional and some not, and which members would have survived what Marvel refers to as the decimation. When it comes to the X-Men, they didn't hesitate to assert that only one mutant would have made it, Wolverine. Upon being handed a picture of some popular X-Men, Joe Russo said,
This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do something very controversial here.
To the surprise of the hosts and encouragement from his brother, Joe began striking team members willy-nilly, taking the time to point out that even though Thanos wiped out half of all life in the universe, it doesn't necessarily mean that every specific group of people would have been halved.
And Hawkeye's entire family disappeared.
Yeah.
So any given group, you could lose almost everyone in that group.
Russo then presented his handiwork to gasps from the hosts. He explained the thought process behind his choice.
I don't want to give you the rest of these cards.
Fiercely motivated Wolverine going up against Thanos.
It stands to reason that nothing would motivate the near-indestructible hero, quite like the only family he knows being wantonly wiped out by a genocidal intergalactic warlord. It would have been quite a contest. We know that Thanos' mighty sword is capable of damaging vibranium, given what it did to Captain America's shield. But we haven't seen Thanos go up against adamantium, the metal that makes up Wolverine's claws and covers his skeleton, in the MCU yet, though it has happened in comics. After that difficult choice, the Russos were then presented with a series of similar scenarios, revealing in each instance which members of popular groups they would have chosen to dust. For the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Joe Russo claimed to own a copy of the very first issue of the comic, saying, "I love these guys." But that doesn't mean he would have spared them all. The choice was so tough, he deferred to Anthony, who benevolently spared them all. Lest the host think himself though, Anthony deadpanned.
And remember, you're talking to the guys who iced Spider-Man and Black Panther.
Next up was Scooby-Doo and the gang. Fred, whom Joe called kind of worthless, and Shaggy both bit the dust, presumably leaving Scooby, Velma, and Daphne with unstoppable thirst for vengeance. After that, the duo was handed a photo of the cast of Friends. As the Russos mused about the slim likelihood of an entire group having the misfortune of being totally wiped out, Anthony marked an X over every face. At least Ross wouldn't have to pine over a dusted Rachel for 5 years. After briefly misidentifying a member of the Backstreet Boys as New Kids on the Block's Donnie Wahlberg, the directing brothers decided to leave only one standing, Nick Carter. They didn't seem to have any particular reason for this. Nick just got lucky. It's all random anyway.
And I offered a solution.
Genocide.
But random, dispassionate, fair to rich and poor alike.
Having earned the attention of Marvel Studios partly due to their excellent work on the beloved series Arrested Development, deciding which Bluths to wipe out had to have been a tough choice for the Russos to make. Maybe Buster and Tobias all bit the dust, with Anthony explaining that Tobias had to go because he thought it would be funny to hear the Blue Man's final words, with David Cross doing 40 variations on the line.
Oh my god! We're having a fire sale! Oh, the burning! It burns me!
For the cast of another comedy the brothers worked on, Community, Pierce Hawthorne got dusted, with Anthony noting that he, quote, could use the 5 years. Joe then mused over what choices would be heartbreaking narratively before finally choosing to spare everyone else. Disney's deal to acquire Fox didn't go through soon enough for an epic throwdown between Wolverine and Thanos to become a reality, but Logan will surely be a big part of the MCU at some point in the future. If Thanos ever manages to return, viewers might get to see them go head-to-head, and Wolverine has gotten the better of the Titan once or twice in the comics. Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more Looper videos about the MCU are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.